Hello everybody on YouTube, this is Super Nintendo, I can't talk right now, and welcome to another vlog where I talk about Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Now, since the last vlog episode, I could not stop myself from watching the rest of the season, so this vlog is going to be over everything, pretty much the whole season. So, this season is mostly about Star's family and her dark history. Holy shit! Such a fucking... Season 3 is so much fucking better than the first two seasons. And, my god, there's very little filler in here that, my god, I can only think of like 3 or 4 episodes that are like, yeah, you could have just skipped that. You know, like most of them have something to do with the overarching plot. And this is how you fucking do it. So, in this season, we get introduced to Eclipsa, Queen Eclipsa. Well, not introduced to, because we saw her in like season 2 or something. But we get formally introduced to her, and she is basically... she's not what the history books depict her as. The history books depict her as this evil bitch that basically... like, she was built up as, like, this evil tyrant that we had to keep on ice. If she gets out, we are fucked. But no, she's this, like, eccentric, well-mannered-ish lady with green hair who looks suspiciously like Star. And then it's revealed later on that Star and her mother, pretty much everybody after Eclipse's daughter, which we get revealed to her in a big fucking way, they're not related. Star is not a princess. Neither is Moon. Moon is not a queen. River is not a king. That's just the beginning. Toffee is finally dead. I call bullshit that he's dead. I think that he's coming back eventually. And we eventually get introduced to Moon, Eclipse's daughter, Meteora, who is somebody we actually knew before, and it's Miss Heinous. And, like, we finally get build up for what the glowing cheeks on her was. Like, I'm kind of surprised I didn't put together that she was part of... At least I don't think I did. I don't think I made a comment on her possibly being a part of the butterfly family. But, yeah, and Star gets a golden butterfly form that over the course of the season she has to learn to use. And even by the end of the season, she still doesn't properly know how to use it. She can, like, go into it at will eventually, but she still has next to no control, because she's like, Mega Narwhal Blast, and she just fucking goes up to the fucking ceiling because of the backlash of her blast. And it's like, yeah, this is character development. This is something the first 2 seasons needed so much more of. Every fucking thing sticks. And it's just, ow, fuck. Ow. I don't know what the fuck happened. But yeah, every little thing sticks. The only thing I really wish would stick is the 16 years Marco spent fighting Hekapoo, because once again, he does not act like... He still acts like a 14, 15-year-old, but he still But dude's like 30 years old, and they draw attention to this in the season multiple times. And it bugs me to hell. You can't do that. Oh. So there's a lot of good and bad in this season. But I think this season is far better than the previous seasons. So, Eclipsa apparently had a baby with a monster, so, Heinous, or Meteora, as her real name is revealed to be, is half monster. She eventually gets the ability to suck souls out, and starts turning more and more monstrous as she does this. Star and Tom are back together, and when they fight Meteora like continues to suck out Tom's souls, but because he has thousands of souls, it's like he just keeps like getting soul sucked down. It's like so it's like he keeps getting his soul sucked out. And great seeing Hekapoo back. She is one of my favorite characters in this show, even if like next to nothing is developed, at least from a character perspective. Physically, she's very developed. So, yeah, I love her character design. I love that she's like this demon-looking thing. She kind of reminds me of Midna from Twilight Princess. You know how she's kind of like this flirtatious bitch, but she's really nice, but she can still kill you if she wanted to. And unlike Midna, Hekapoo has the ability to make an army of herself, which kind of begs the question on how anybody can beat her. Because if you have the entire fucking army gang up on one person, I don't care how powerful they are fucking gone. You know? It's... I don't know. So, they fight Meteora. Meteora is turning into this big monster thing. And we get a little bit into her past as to why she is so mentally fucked up. And there's so much in this season that is so good. This season deals with monster racism and like all this other shit. It's just wow. Just fucking wow. So much better than the previous two seasons. The previous two seasons, I know you probably have seen the vlogs, or maybe you haven't, but the problem with the first two seasons is that a good chunk of those seasons were episodes that had nothing to do with anything. And, like, you could attribute them to, like, oh, well, Star is learning a lesson. But those lessons don't really stick because she doesn't show any development. And, this season, nothing... most things are not forgotten about. Like, Star and Marco, they have tension between the two of them because it was revealed to Marco that Star had a crush on her, and that shit ain't forgotten about. Every single time they interact, it's like, we're kind of awkward. It's an awkward situation. They acknowledge that things are different now. And I think that's why Stars went back to dating Tom, because she's trying to distract herself from... she's trying to do something she did prior to get her mind off of Marco, but because Marco is now her squire, that shit can't happen. And eventually she basically becomes queen. But at the end of the season, she gives her wand over to Eclipsa. Eclipsa then basically seemingly destroys Meteora and somehow reverts her back into a baby. And Eclipsa is now acting queen. Is now the new queen, or the old queen, or whatever. And she goes to Globgor, and which is her husband, lover person. Which I'm just now questioning how the fuck they were able to fuck in order to make Eclipsa, or not Eclipsa, in order to make Meteora. Speaking of which, I don't think I've seen a male butterfly in this series yet. So is it like, are they like the Gerudo in the Zelda series, where no matter, like, only like one male is born every 100 years or something? Because it seems like every male in the family, they are married into. Because, like, we never, like, Star doesn't have a brother. As far as we're aware, Moon doesn't have any brothers. At least I don't think so. Eclipsa doesn't seem to have any siblings. Meteora doesn't seem to have any siblings. So, are there just no male butterflies in this series? It's kind of weird. Fuck, what else is there to talk about? There was a Christmas episode where apparently they worship a stump. That, like the Great Pumpkin, if you piss it off, it will fucking kill you. Respect the stump. I don't know what else to talk about. Oh yeah, Glossoric's back. He's alive, and apparently he's been faking being a dog because he's basically been acting like a dog, and he's like, Globgor! 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 And apparently the justification for this is that he's been trying to tell them for months, and it's like, he just kind of floats away on a magic umbrella. I know that Glossoric is a weird motherfucker, but you don't think that would have been important enough to... I don't know. It just kind of feels like there was no point to him being here. And because Glossoric in this season is borderline pointless after he dies, because he just kind of comes right back, and then he's just the center of jokes, pretty much. That's one of the downsides of this season, I think, is they relegate Glossoric to basically just a running joke, which I guess he already kind of was, but I don't know. It just kind of, I know he's already kind of like a weird fucking dude, but it just comes off as, okay, what was the point in him being here? It is, I mean, he never, to me, ever outstayed his welcome. I thought his Globgor moments were pretty funny. Like when the episode where Star is sleep portaling, and like Glossoric is on Marco's lap, basically kind of acting like a cat, like he's doing that, and then he just kind of lays there. Whatever, he acts like a cat or a dog or something, and like I thought that was kind of funny, but ultimately not needed, I guess, since apparently he's been faking it the entire time. Which only made, like, there's so much shit he could have done, now that I think about it, that, like, there's no point to him being here on any extent. And, like, I know he wasn't going to stay dead, because he's way too fucking powerful to stay dead. Not to mention, he's probably in the situation where, like, okay, if Superman dies again, he's a very popular character, so we're just going to bring him right fucking back. Because no comic book character can stay dead. You know, I'd like to see a comic book series where a character's deaths actually fucking mean something. Like, just off topic. I'd like to see something superhero related where a character dies and it actually fucking means something. Because even the MCU isn't exempt from this, considering they killed off Coulson and brought him back for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know. I went off track there for a second. So yeah, season 3. Final thoughts. It's fucking great. It's really good. A lot better than the first 2 seasons. And here's hoping that season 4, whenever that decides to come out, is just as good, if not better. Hopefully they keep on this track of having most, if not all, of the episodes be plot relevant. Because, yeah. And I really hope that they have character motivation, or not character motivation, character development actually stick. You know? And show us more of Marco with the mind of his 30-something-year-old self in his younger body, because that bugs the shit out of me. I know it's mostly there for jokes, and like I'm sure most of the plot wouldn't really work if he was thinking like a 30-year-old, but I don't know, it bugs me. So that has been my thoughts on Star vs. the Forces of Evil Season 3, the remainder of it. What'd you think of Season 3? And I will see you guys in the next video. See ya!